you've sprinkled in a lot of really good advice throughout this whole show, but do you have a best piece of advice you've ever gotten or a piece of advice you offer?
Yeah, I think the best piece of advice that I've ever gotten, it is the most important piece of advice that I've ever gotten because I was at a very bad place in my career and personally, and I was just kind of spiraling, trying to, just latch on to anything solid. And I was being kind of a little brat and just complaining a lot and really being a victim. And a very successful friend of mine was listening to me complain, and he was like, just stop talking for a second. What is something that you want for yourself in the next 2 to 3 years? It can be anything. Can be a car, it can be a man, it can be a job, which just something that you want for yourself. And I was like, well, I want to be full time on air, like with my own show in the next 2 to 3 years, whether it's radio or television. And this was before I had the radio show. This was before I even actually got my part-time job at the radio station. And he was like, "Okay, great. That's a great goal. It's like it's a great thought, something that you want. How much of your energy are you putting towards making that happen?" And I was like, "I don't know, like maybe 10%. Like I don't have a job. I'm sleeping on my friend's couch. I am fighting with my family. Like I just got out of this awful relationship. Like just like da 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 da. I don't know. I'm not really like thinking about how to make that happen right now." And he was like, "Well, why are you surprised that it's not happening? 10% is not a lot. It's barely anything at all." And I don't know if it was because everything that was happening or I was just like at that point in life or it was just, but it was my light bulb moment. And I was like, that's actually a very good point. I really don't, I'm not applying anything or any effort or any time or any energy at all towards any of my real goals. I'm just kind of swimming around treading water right now. And why would that come to me? So it's just like anything else in life. If you want to get in shape, we all know you have to work out and eat good. We all try to get around it, but that's just the only way. You got to do it. And if you want to learn a new language, you have to study and you have to speak it and you got to do it every day. And you've got to try and you're going to fail a little bit and then you got to go back and learn it again. And then you have to apply yourself. You have to put your energy into making it happen. If you want to graduate college, if you want to, raise a family, anything that you want to do with your life, you have to put your energy into it. And energy is a specific word because it's not just, okay, I'm going to buy this or I'm going to talk about it or occasionally I'm going to jump on the treadmill. Energy is a mentality. It is a embodiment of what you want. So when people say like, oh, you attract what you put out, like things come to you as you desire them, as you put out. Watch what you say, watch how you think, watch what you do with your time, because that's what you're directing yourself towards. So all there's all these different like quotes and stories and stickers to apply to a really simple concept that if you want something, put your energy towards making it happen. And it might not happen on your timeline, but it will eventually happen because that's what you're working towards. That's what you're giving out to the universe. So it's it's always been something that I've kept with me, and anytime I feel like I'm kind of wandering or I'm, frustrated that something's not happening for me, I revisit that conversation because it's the truth. And anytime that I have put 100% of my energy into something happening, it happens. It's not life is not a vending machine, but it's just the concept of the world. Like this is how it works. If you want to save up for something and you are intentional about doing extra work and saving your money and your energy is not towards spending that money on partying or going out, like you are whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. Energy is very important, and using energy in a slothful way or just not being intentional about your
Right.
energy will take away from the things that you want. And it's not that easy. It's not just a switch that you flip, but it is something that only you can control. So that was the most important piece of advice. I'm sure I've gotten better advice that I ignored, but I listened to that advice and it came to me at the right time in the right moment. And I think it's I think it's important for everybody in whatever, part of your journey or your experiences are to own your own role in your story, because it's very easy to get distracted by people that hurt you or people that stand in your way or discourage you or bad things happening. And it can really drown you if you focus on it too much. So it's a perseverance mindset that will really steer you in the right direction every time you revisit. At least it has for me.